everyone, I'm Cynthia.
I'm Nithya.
And welcome back to the PGP Vlog Series.
For this video, we asked a bunch of Olin students what they did this summer.
And we got awesome responses.
So let's check them out.
I was here, did some research. We helped design a scope project for this year. It involved with auto safety.
Summer, I was working for an educational startup called Persistence Plus, and I was super excited that I was able to take on my own project. And at the very end of my internship, I was presenting on natural language processing, which is like a really super cool thing to learn, and something that I didn't think that I could work on. So I was super glad for that opportunity, and I'm glad that I could present this topic and share it with my teammates.
I worked as an assistant instructor at kids' Lego day camps, and we would just play around with Legos all day, and that was great. This kid was hanging out afterwards. He was kind of bored. His parents weren't there yet, and I was like, well, do you want to go free build with the other kids? He was like, no, I don't really want to. I was like, well, do you want to help me sort Legos? And he was like, no. And I was like, well, do you want to play the octopus game? And he was kind of like, what's the octopus game? I was like, well, the octopus game is where I count to 3 and then we act like octopuses. He's like, okay. So then I was like, alright, 1, 2, 3. And he started octopusing with me, and we were both octopusing together, and then we just started laughing, and he just kept on laughing, and it fed into this beautiful chain of holding our stomachs and doubling over. And then suddenly he looks up at me and he goes, I think I need to go to the bathroom. I just peed my pants a little bit. And that made us laugh even harder.
I had an internship at Red Hat. Red Hat is a software company in Massachusetts, or basically global, worldwide. We make money by selling free software. So basically we develop Linux and a bunch of stuff to go along with it. I learned a lot of stuff about coding and how to work in a corporate atmosphere. I was on a sprint team, and I learned just a whole bunch of stuff about how to use Linux properly in a development environment, how to use Git properly, and how to work on a team with a mentor.
I worked at Stryker Endoscopy in San Jose making minimally invasive surgical instruments. I really liked getting to see sort of a corporate side of engineering that you don't often get to see at Olin.
I worked for Northrop Grumman over the summer on JWST, James Webb Space Telescope, and integration. Yay! Awesome.
I worked for a robotics startup building robots for marketing.
This summer I worked at Raytheon doing RF component manufacturing.
I was here doing research with Jean Huang, and we did environmental microbiology.
I was working at Bose in the automation tools group, so I was developing software that tests current and future Bose products.
This past summer I was working with an Olin professor in a lab out in Charlestown that's partnered with the Massachusetts General Hospital and Harvard Med School. I was working to redesign a microfluidic assay to assess neutrophil functionality, as well as build a prototype of a machine that would be really cheap and really easy for nurses and technicians to use for future medical trials going forward, so that we could do a lab on a chip, have them put a drop of blood in, put it in a machine, get an answer.
I worked at Technical Machine, which is an Olin startup out in Berkeley, California, and I did a little bit on the hardware side and a lot on the software side, and also learned all the different things that go into a startup, so that was pretty cool.
So this summer, I joined the ADE team, ADE India team, and I went to Bharatpur and I worked on rickshaws for a month, which was a lot of fun. And then for 1 month I went to the Ahmedabad University and worked in the life sciences department, which was a lot of fun. I think the most memorable moment was at the end of my time at Ahmedabad. They asked me to give a presentation on Olin, and it was to the incoming class, and it was about 60 students, and they're trying to really follow the Olin philosophy, and I gave this presentation, and at the end one of the girls stood up and she was like, where do you get your confidence from? And I was like, it's thanks to Olin. So it was a very adorable, touching moment, because she was like, this is awesome.
This summer I researched with Oscar and Meg McCauley. We wanted to research whether or not electrical engineering would be a good foundation to introduce into the developing world.
And so we worked on a flashlight circuit, and in the last 3 weeks of our research we brought it to Tanzania and implemented it there. We got to go on safaris, we got to see Mount Kilimanjaro, but I think the coolest experiences were just going into town and meeting people, learning Swahili, going to markets, stuff like that, and kind of just experiencing their culture and their everyday life.